I'm a Sumdat Veronica Malama. I work in transformation, project management, program management. I have been in the space, focused purely on Microsoft Dynamics D365 for the last 12 years now. The last few years, though, I've been trying to focus more on working with women to support them, not just in project delivery, but also to support them in how they show up in the corporate spaces. So what I've found, and especially being an African woman, dealing with some of my friends, and I don't know if you've experienced this, is people turn up at work with the culture, the experiences that they have at home, and it's how they expect to show up in corporate. So when I've been in the corporate space, I've done quite well for myself. I've managed to navigate the system that was not really built for women to thrive in, in all honesty, and I've managed to do really well. And I thought that it was quite common or easy, or like the things that I thought were common sense. I'm starting to realize we're not that common sense for us women. So I have been working, I've always mentored people, by the way. I've always mentored people as part of the Power Platform School, as part of my own mentorship programs. I've always mentored women and men to thrive in the corporate space. But the last couple of years have been more intentional about supporting women to not just thrive in the corporate space, but to actually elevate and get rewarded and work their way up. And the reason I've done this is because, like I said, it's been easy for me. I found it quite easy, but then I realized what I've found quite easy is not the norm. No, it's not the norm. I'm quite comfortable to walk in any room and present myself and speak my thoughts and use strategic language and show up in a way that presents me as knowledgeable. But then I'll see some other women almost shy away, because they're dealing, like I said, with humility, being raised to dealing with humility, being raised to shrink, being a certain way in the presence of you don't want to be too much. So then you hold back. But in holding back, they're actually holding back their skills and they're not allowing themselves to shine because they don't want to be called aggressive. Or too much. You're doing too much, the things that men are praised for, women tend to be put down for in the corporate space. I'll give an example. One of my really good friends who said to me, was something I really struggle to show up in work because I feel like my bosses are older. And having been raised in an African household, she wanted to show respect. That's never something I do now. I mean, I show respect to my elders or people older than me, or anyone, to be fair, that I deal with, but it doesn't mean that I have to shrink. I don't shrink in the process of showing respect. And that's when I realized, oh my goodness, something that I had considered so easy and natural and come quite naturally for me does not come that naturally with other women. So it's trying to help women to turn up for work. I feel great because I also recognize there's a lot of coaching for people who are in running their own business, coaching for people who want to go and be a coach. But there isn't enough coaching for women to thrive in their 9 to 5. Because some people don't want to be a coach. They don't want to run their business. They just want to do well in their 9 to 5. They want to be rewarded for their hard work. They want to be recognized and promoted for the work that they do. And they don't want to turn up to work and have to deal with microaggressions or assumption or judgment just because they're a woman. Some people want to show up to work and just enjoy the work environment and the corporate space. And that's why I'm doing this with women, just to help them to feel great. Just like I love work. I loved work. I enjoyed showing up to work every single day. I don't do work full time now. I work part time, but when I did work full time, I genuinely logged on every Monday, excited to dance.
That's amazing. And that's how it should be.
But that's because I knew how to navigate, microaggressions. I knew how to navigate when people were challenging me. I knew how to speak up and show my value. I knew how to show that I was contributing to the business. I have strategies that I'll use to ensure that my value was recognized in every environment that I worked in. But I did not know that other women were struggling with it until a little later on in my career. And that's why I focused my efforts in supporting women in that space.
That's amazing. I have so many questions. I'll do a quick intro, but I've got so much. And there's so much synergy between what we do, actually. So for my intro,